Hello, hello, and welcome back to Ocarina of Time Randomized Hell. My name is Decapitated, otherwise known as the complete moron, the total idiot, the absolute fool who can't remember and refuses to notice that he turned on his echo filter and left it on for 2 hours and 45 minutes of recording. So guess who has to re-record this entire thing post audio? Because he saved and he can't go back. It's me, it's this guy, it's Decapitated, that's who. Because that's the guy I said in the intro, right? Anyway. Let's continue on. So, what am I doing? How did this happen? I don't know. I don't know how it happened, and quite frankly, I'm just as pissed off as you are. And if you're not pissed off, then I don't know how you're maintaining your cool right now, because I'm certainly not. This was recorded like a week ago, and I'm still fucking mad about it. I said fucking past the 30-second mark, right? Yeah, we're good. Anyway, so what? Okay, let's get all combobulated. What am I doing right now? I am going to edit this episode to make it a little bit better so that we can just get through the entire basic recording in one shot, right? So I could just do this so we can get back to normal content, right? And I don't have to edit all these episodes in a row. That would be awful. Good. Okay, the next recording I did does not have this filter. I don't know why it was on. I think I did end up recording an episode of like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance with the echo recording on. Then I noticed it was on, switch it off, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway. So what am I doing right now in Ocarina of Time? Well, right now, I am trying to do a mega flip. Now, what is a mega flip? Basically, it's a glitch where you shield block a bomb and then roll into it as it explodes, and then when you backflip, it gives you enough momentum to go flying, basically. It gives you a very, very long horizontal jump. Now, why am I doing this? No, so Jabu Jabu has a section of the game of the dungeon, but it's kind of a small section, like geographically, like map size wise. But it contains a mini boss that is really frustrating, and I don't remember how to beat. So I want to skip this section by basically jumping over to that switch on the other side of the lobby. This isn't really the lobby, this is more like the entrance, but still. So there's so I basically want to skip the big Octorok. And the Mega Flip is the best way to do that. You can also hover over there by using the Biru, which is the jellyfish creature that floats around there, but I don't know how to do the hovering, so I don't want to have to learn that. So this glitch takes me about 15 minutes to pull off, and right now I should be I'm not really looking at the footage right now. I probably should be, but it's a little I'm a little discombobulated right now. I'm a little mad, so right now I should be just doing attempts over and over again. It took me about 15 minutes to get it right, but eventually I do. But before I show off me actually getting the glitch, I did encounter something very, very weird here. Now, while I was actually practicing this off screen for quite a bit, but here I was actually using For Roar of Wind just to get back up to the entrance, so I didn't have to like keep reloading the area every time I failed and accidentally got down to the bottom floor. But here I get into a little bit of a loop where I actually fall out of bounds a bunch of times. And eventually I just end up just resetting the game and reloading that because I don't know what happened there. I don't know if that's a known glitch or if that's like a Ship of Harkinian thing. I don't know. I couldn't find anything with like a quick Google search, so I just kind of gave up. Anyway, and a couple of attempts after that debacle happened, I managed to actually make the mega flip. I did do it a couple times off screen, but I did want to get it recorded. I could have just been recording and didn't have to explain myself while I was over there, but anyway, I didn't decide to do that. I decided to record 15 minutes of garbage footage, but I did capture a cool glitch that I was definitely not mad about. But very, very quickly, I do realize that I can't open this switch normally. So normally what you do is there's an upper platform that lowers so you can actually walk over here, and you take one of the boxes that's on the other side and you come over here and put it on the switch so you can keep this blue switch down. However, there is a glitch called Ocarina items, which kind of like messes with cutscenes in a weird way. And this, I believe, does count as a cutscene. I believe that's how it works. I might be confusing with another glitch while I was reading. But basically what you do is you just catch something in your bottle. Normally bugs or fish is used for this, because you can just keep dropping it and catching it over and over again, right? You can kind of do it on demand. And there's a bunch of applications of the glitch. The main one is, main simple one is to use Ocarina before you get Ocarina, because if there's like a weird interaction where if you pull out your sword and then press the bottle button while this glitch is active, basically while you have that caught item in your hands, it activates your Ocarina, even if you don't have an Ocarina. So you can play songs like that if you have never actually gotten the Ocarina check for some reason. But essentially, I use that to mess with the Switch cutscene, and I'm able to walk through the door. I don't know if that was good timing or not. I might have to edit that, but whatever. Okay. So once I am finally through the room, into the next room, right before Baronade, which is kind of weird how close the mini-boss and Baronade are to each other, honestly. But once I'm over there, I just go ahead and grab this last gold Skulltula that's down here, which ends up being a gold Skulltula token, unfortunately. And I hit the switch up here, and I make my way into the boss room. And the boss room, as I've demonstrated earlier, are randomized. So this one is King Dodongo, who actually has a chest. There's actually 3 chests in his room. One for the above chest, which ends up being Deku Seeds. And then one for fighting King Dodongo, and another one for fighting and the other one is the Goron Ruby check. And as you can see, I'm gonna show the whole fight here, but I basically kill King Dodongo in sub 30 seconds, which is, I mean, he's a pretty easy boss, right? Most of the early game bosses, I think Baronade takes a little bit longer just because he's cutscene heavy, but I think he's like phase heavy, but you know, King Dodongo dies fairly quickly. So the cool thing about the Goron Ruby check, actually on like the console randomizer, if you do like a randomizer via like ootrandomizer.com or whatever it is, and not through Ship of Harkinian, you actually cannot randomize, you can randomize which dungeon reward it gives you, but you can't randomize the dungeon rewards into other things because of the way item checks work. But fortunately, with Ship of Harkinian, they just can. They can just make whatever code changes they want. Because again, it's basically just written in C. So I don't know if it's C or C++. I could probably look that up. But anyway, it ends up being a gold Skulltula token. So that's cool. And a bundle. Did I mention a bundle of arrows for the King Dodongo check? I think I did. Whatever. Anyway, moving on to the next section. We're going to be doing the rest of Jabu next. So in this next section, I'm actually trying to actively search for Ruto. I wouldn't have dropped down here if I didn't know where if I didn't think that Ruto was down here. But she ends up actually not being over here. We'll see here in a second, but I'm like really worried at this point that she's actually despawned because I beat the boss, which I don't think happens. I think they fixed that window. I don't know if that's a thing in the vanilla game if she shows up back here again, if you can actually just keep doing the Dodongo fight, because there are some rooms that you cannot get into normally without Ruto being there. Because you need to be carrying Ruto in order to hit some of the switches. I don't know if you can do that any other way. Yeah, I don't know if you can. I don't think you can carry the boxes through the doors. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, I do end up fighting Ruto down here, finding Ruto down here where I left her, which is good. I don't think that's a normal vanilla behavior. I think she actually goes back in vanilla. I think she goes back to that spot in vanilla, which is why I went down and looked. That might be a randomizer. That might be a Shift Parkinian quality of life thing. I'm pretty sure she resets if you leave the dungeon normally, but anyway. I end up fighting these tentacles for a little bit, and then the map chest actually has something very, very useful in it. It's Sunsong. That's really good. That's a really, really good, really, really useful check. For like mainly for quality of life. It does unlock some checks on its own, but it's mainly for quality of life on getting those gold skulltulas and those other assorted night checks, night and day checks, really. Anyway, I end up fighting some more tentacles, of course. And then the compass chest spawns. Not quite as useful as the thing. It's only 20 rupees, but you know, whatever. I'll take 20 rupees any day, you know. I mean, not really. If it's like between like a hook shot or something, I think I'd take a hook shot over 20 rupees. But you know, I'm glad I actually cut to the top because I actually had trouble fighting some of these tentacles, right? Anyway, after I'm done fighting these stupid testicles, I actually have to go back down into the lobby for the last two checks, which are the gold skulltulas. I could have checked these earlier to know what they were. I think, actually check what know these were, because one of them was a recovery, was just a recovery heart, right? And the other one was a Gerudo Training Grounds, a small key. I think I do know where Gerudo Training Grounds, as I'm recording this, I think I know where it is, but unfortunately, I can't get in there right now, so kind of need a lot of resources to get in there. Anyway, next on the list, we're going to use our newly acquired Sunsong to very easily grab this skull over here, and it was fucking worth it. That's Mirror Shield right there. I was very worried it was going to be a fake, but it ends up being Mirror Shield. Mirror Shield is one of the checks that can be like really, really can stop you in rando trying to find it, because this is the only way to beat stuff like Twin Rova and get a lot of checks in Spirit Temple. So this one can bottleneck you, so I'm glad I found it like mid-game. Right now, the main checks I'm worried about are, at this point in the randomizer, are Song of Storms, Hammer, and I believe Hover Boots, because at this point I know where Iron Boots is. I could have already grabbed Iron Boots, but we'll get to that later. I'm just being dumb. Anyway, our next stop on our adventure is Zora's River. We're gonna play a little bit of a ditty, a sun-based ditty for the frogs. I don't know what that was. And we get Ocarina of Time out of it. Now, Ocarina of Time is the most useless check in the game. I mean, it's good that there's two checks for Ocarina lying around, right? That's because Ocarina is a very useful item, because you ain't playing. I mean, you can play songs with the bottle with the Ocarina of Time items glitch that we showed earlier, but you can basically get away with it. You can't give you much if you're not playing with glitches, right? You gotta have that Ocarina to get anywhere in this game. But the Ocarina of Time itself is a pretty useless item. It does not unlock anything when you get it at all. Like, and there's no progression after it. But having two Ocarinas is pretty nice, right? Anyway, we're going to continue on in Zora's River. At the top of Zora's River, there was that grotto with the reed in it. This is the Royal Grave. I'm 99% sure this is the Royal Grave, but anyway, you gotta play Sunsong here for the chest, and then it also freezes the reed out, so you don't have to deal with him at all. It ends up being just a Deku Stick upgrade. Not the best, but not the worst, especially when you're a child and you don't have like a Kokiri sword. You kind of need it, but when you're adult. But when you're adult, you don't really need the Deku Sticks. I'm sure there's a glitch you could do with Deku Sticks where you could, not use it, or there would be useful, because there's a way to equip the Deku Sticks, as we saw earlier. I had them equipped, but accidentally, but you don't really need them right now. Anyway, the next stop is we're gonna grab this cow grotto that's in Kak. I don't remember what grotto specifically this is. I think it might actually be the grotto that's normally in Kak. It's just in a different spot. I think this grotto is like in the fenced off area that's in Kak that you have to have a cucko to get to, or you can just jump there as an adult. But yeah, this goober ends up just giving me 50 rupees. Which, you know, if I could play a song for a cow and they give me 50 bucks, that's fucking nice payment. In real life, I kind of don't want that in this game. There is some useful stuff I probably will need to grab eventually, if these last few items are as hard to come by as I think they're going to be. Anyway, I do go grab this gold Skulltula token from Graveyard. It's just a gold Skulltula token. I didn't need that at all. I knew what it was. I'm pretty sure I got that earlier and decided to skip it. I probably should have just gone and skipped it, but that's just the next 50, which I'm pretty sure is also useless. I'm pretty sure I know it's also useless at this point, but I digress. And we just barely make it into Lon Lon at this point to grab all these Night Skulls that are here, which is very, very lucky. I don't have to spend any time playing Sunsong. We could have also grabbed these earlier, but, you know, just kind of a pain in the butt if you don't have Lon Lon. The first one up on the window here actually ends up being the Spirit Temple Compass, which is very useful for finding the chests, because I don't actually know where they are, but again, in a speed, like you were a big-time rando player, it wouldn't be as useful. And back here, of course, is the other Deku Stick upgrade, which is, I guess, good for child, but not completely unnecessary. Unless you're like doing like a 100% run or something. I'm pretty sure this would count for like 100. If you were doing like a 100% randomizer run, which like often if you're a noob like me, these randos tend to be 100% runs. I think every single rando I've done on this channel has ended up being a near 100% run of the game because I end up missing some items and some stupid crap. Then they end up being 100% runs, and you end up getting them anyway. Next up is all these grottos around Hyrule Field. First one, we're going to check the diving grotto, which is near this tree right here. It ends up being a fairy fountain, which I mean is good and bad. I mean, no, it's pretty much bad because you don't want useless checks, right? You want to find these checks as quickly as possible, right? But anyway, the next one at least ends up being like stuff with checks in it. It's the one near Gerudo Valley ends up being a scrub grotto. I'm not sure which one it is. It's one of the ones that has 2 in it. The first guy ends up stealing 20, and he's stealing 10 of my rupees. That's really cool. And the other guy ends up paying 55 rupees for a heart piece, which, you know, I guess a health refill is nice. I guess I don't really need them at this point. Again, once you have like 7 or 8 hearts, this game isn't hard enough to really justify much more than that. Nothing really does that much damage. I think Ganon might do quite a bit of damage, but you know, he's not that hard. Next, we're going to use a bomb to get in this Hyrule Field grotto that's right by Lake Hylia, in the middle of the little fenced area. It ends up being the diving grotto, which is normally near that tree, the first grotto we checked out. But anyway, I'm gonna have a little bit of trouble taking out this Tektite because he doesn't take any damage from the boomerang. He only gets stunned by the boomerang for some reason, and I have to use the stupid slingshot. And I keep missing with the slingshot. I keep accidentally pulling a boomerang. It's a whole mess. But anyway, I look down and holy shit, that's hover boots. So I'm gonna need to come back here as adult, or with I think gold scale works as child, right? I think it does. I'm gonna need to go find gold scale, which I don't have silver scale at this point. So yeah, that's cool. And as you can see from my next check, I'm clearly not doing these in any sort of optimal order at all. I'm going back to Kak and getting the grotto that's near Kakariko Village. It ends up being just a single scrub grotto, which I think there's only one in the game. It's one of the ones on Hyrule Field. I don't remember which one, but it ends up just being a gold Skulltula token, so that's cool. I'm nearing 50 at this point. Not like age-wise, but I'm nearing 50 gold Skulltula tokens. And that's continuing on my adventures and being extremely inefficient. I go to Gerudo Valley and grab this gold Skulltula, which ends up being another gold Skulltula token. I could have grabbed that, or I think I saw that earlier, but I couldn't grab it, and I just couldn't remember what it was, so I went back and grabbed it anyway. And again, being extremely inefficient, I go to Lake Hylia and have to play Sunsong to go grab this last gold Skulltula. I think I went over here earlier, right, and didn't notice that this was child only. I don't know if this is child only, but you definitely can't get up there normally as adult. You have to split your way up there if you can. But it ends up being 20. No, not sorry, piece of art. That's cool of me. That's very cool of me. Yeah. And then we're gonna take our cheeky little shortcut through Zora's Fountain into the child potion shop and into the Link's house, and out of Link's house, sorry, to go to the last check. I believe we can get a child in Kokiri Forest, which is the Gold Skull behind the Know-It-All Brothers house, which ends up being an ice trap. That's cool. I shouldn't have even picked that up. That was I have both of the red songs at this point, so I should have just like skipped that at this point. Anyway, why don't we go back to adult? I think that's a good idea at this point, right? And the best thing to get as adult is something that we are pretty sure is good, which is iron boots from this Gold Skull to a little bit into Zora's River, and by a little bit I mean most of the way through Zora's River. And I have a little bit of trouble grabbing it. I could have grabbed this earlier. You just need hook shot. You just need to jump on this little fence up here and grab it, but it does end up being real. And I could have definitely got it earlier and been a little more efficient about that, but I didn't realize it earlier. I walked right by it, and when I had it, I just wasn't sure. I thought I couldn't grab it. I thought I needed long shot, but I totally didn't. I just could grab it. That was really cool of me. Anyway, why don't we use those new cheeky little iron boots we got and go back to that diving grotto that was right near Lake Hylia. I'm just gonna let that speak for itself. That was so heartbreaking, dude. I wanna shit. Oh yeah. Oh, that feels good. Yeah. Yeah, give me more ice trap. Give me more ice trap game, yeah. Well, since we're trying to be a little more efficient, I guess we should actually check out what this dungeon is, now that we have all the tools to get into it. And Water Temple ends up leading into Dodongo's Cavern. Now, Dodongo's Cavern, like Deku Tree, is a child dungeon that you can very easily do as adult. There's nothing really stopping you from doing as adult. There's no like child-only items that are very, like that make the progress through the dungeon very hard, and you require like basically speedrunning tech in order to progress. Like Javu's is hard because you can't equip Boomerang as adult normally, so you have to use Equip Squap. And then bottom of the well, you have to kind of clip through the dungeon. I don't even know if you can get into bottom of the well as adults. I don't even know if you do that even with glitches. There might be a way, like an obscure way that I don't know how to do it, but I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and grab this ice. Well, it ends up being an ice trap in the map chest over here, which kind of sucks. But the next check over here actually ends up being pretty good. I pay a little bit of money for Lens. Lens is pretty good, right? I could go to Chess Game. I could go to Shadow Temple. Shadow Temple's bad, but I can do it. So, I guess that's something, right? Anyway, let's go continue on through this east corridor over here. Right here, I'm fighting some of the little Dodongos. I'm hungry. You get the meme. But I go ahead and grab this, go ahead and summon the Scarecrow, summon Bonaru, to go grab this Skulltula up here, and ends up being a double defense, which is great. I mean, it's unnecessary, but you know, basically just it effectively just doubles your health, which I don't think there's anything that can go through double defense, so it's essentially just a health doubler. So just kind of a little nice reward for if you're bad at video games like me. And we also, from my Gold Skulltula in the same corridor, well, it's in a side room of the corridor, but anyway, it's Gerudo card. That would have been very helpful earlier, though I kind of wish I had waited because there was nothing, I don't think did we get anything from Gerudo Valley that was good? I don't know, I didn't mark anything, I don't remember. But, I mean Gerudo Fortress, not Gerudo Valley, but that would have been very, very helpful here. Also, here's a little bit of a map of my progress I'm going to show it off right here since I pull it up in the recording anyway, and and it's very helpful to know where I am at right now as far as progress goes. Anyway, one of the reasons that it's really easy to do as adult is because you can kind of skip some of these useless corridors. Like you can go ahead and just jump up to the platform with the switch that raises the big lever. Or that opens the door on the other side of the ground floor of the lobby of Dodongo's Cavern. So you don't actually have to fight these Lizalfos that I'm fighting right now, but they're easy enough to defeat with the stupid little both cheese strats I'm doing on them. They end up being actually, turns out the other one is totally invincible when the other one, when one of them is active, because they kind of switch off, so you don't have to fight them at the same time, because that would be fucking terrible. But anyway, right here I show off a little, what I think is a little known, probably again in the OOT like speedrunning community, probably everyone knows about this. But if you're just like casually a fan of OOT, you might not know that you can actually jump behind a lava waterfall over here for no reason. It's not a lava waterfall. It's more like a lava fall. But I ended up joking that this was just like water with red food coloring in it, because Link doesn't seem to have a problem jumping through it. But you know, there's just like a heart back here. Just nothing really bad. And I could end up going and grabbing this little Deku Scrub over here, and he ends up stealing 30 rupees from me. Yeah, I love paying 35 rupees for a blue rupee. That's very cool. Thank you! I would totally kill you if I could. I would murder you in cold blood, you freaking scrub. I end up doing a strategic reset here to avoid having to walk back through all of those rooms, because I can't, well, I mean, I could open that door. For some reason I didn't realize I had Inspire. I could have totally opened up that door. I think resetting is still faster anyway. But I end up going through that west door, and I make a little bit of a mistake here. I think I could have gotten up there somehow. I think I might have to go back in. But essentially if you don't knock down those stairs, there's a better way up there, unless Bonnaroo, you can summon Bonnaroo, which I don't know if you can. But essentially I have a bit of a conundrum that ends up happening, because I actually bombed those stairs early. But I don't know. Anyway, back here in this little room with the what are these called? Armos? Yeah, the Armos. There's a little chest over here, which ends up being a 20 rupees. I think that's the compass chest right there. So, I mean, not great, but what am I? Like, most of these checks are going to end up being not great, so what am I complaining about? Anyway, back to what I was saying with those stairs. Up there on the alcove, I end up sniping that gold Skulltula and discovering that, hey, that's claim check over there. And that'll become important later when I discover something interesting about the trade items in the Ship of Arcinium randomizer. That is not normal, because I have played the other like a console version randomizer before, like a 1.2 randomizer, or 1.0 randomizer before, and the randomizer actually ends up a little bit different on certain key factors. And this is one of the trade items are one of them. Like you have one trade item basically, one child trade item, one adult trade item, and that ends up causing a little bit of an issue. But we'll get to that later. Anyway, the gold Skulltula up on these vines over here just ends up being a gold Skulltula token. And over here in this next room, I end up getting a weird glitch right here when I try to jump up on this platform. It's a little bit silly, and it takes me a couple more tries to get up on this platform. But, you know. And I end up getting cool 5 blue rupees from the bomb chest. I believe this is that's the bomb bag chest right there. The bomb bag chest is kind of like unceremoniously put there. I feel like in later Zelda the later Zelda games, every time there's like an item. Anyway, I end up fighting the second double Lizalfos fight, which I don't actually need to be back here. There's actually no checks back here. I could have just completely skipped this room. This is basically so that child can go and jump up to that ledge with the bomb chest. So good for me. I just wasted like basically 5 minutes. And up here, over on this elevated chest, up here on this elevated platform, is a Spirit Temple key, which I do need 4 out of the 5 Spirit Temple keys. One of them is skippable. Unfortunately, I didn't remember that was skippable and accidentally used it, but you know, that problem ends up kind of sorting itself out. You'll see later in like the next 3 or 4 episodes from now. And we make our way into the room with 2 more scrubs. I didn't remember that there was actually, like, several scrubs in Dodongo's Cavern, but we do end up getting golden gauntlets for fairly cheap, which is really great. What was the price again? Let me go back and scrub the video. It was, I'm being dumb, I'm not doing it. It was 10 rupees. So yeah, it's fairly cheap. But anyway, the next item over here ends up being the Water Temple Compass. Definitely worse. It was more, and ended up, was it? No, it was just, It was just free. So I guess it wasn't a worse deal. I just got the Water Temple compass for free. That's fine. I do need to save rupees, so I guess that's good. And there was a lot of chests in Water Temple that I do need to look around for. So that will lower the rate of confusion in Water Temple, so that's good. Anyway, I end up making this throw the first time, which is pretty cool, and then immediately end up failing this other bomb drop, which is a little bit less cool, right? Like, that's much less cool, but across the way on the upper floor ends up being another heart container, which, you know, don't really need at this point, but it is nice to have. Now that especially that double defense is basically like getting 2 heart containers, right? Right? No, not really. Okay, whatever. Let's go back into deep Dodongo. Yeah, let's get deep into that Dodongo. Yeah. So I do end up having to go all the way back to like this back room in Dodongo's Cavern to grab this last Gold Skulltula treasure, and it does end up being another Gold Skulltula token. I'm very quickly getting to the point where these are going to be useless, and I don't have to be grabbing them, although I keep grabbing them because I'm obsessive. Like, I can't help myself from grabbing like these shiny little tokens that show up, right? And I actually end up like skipping this puzzle. That's one of the good things about being adult, is that you can just kind of skip a couple of the puzzles in this area without having to resort to glitches. You can just kind of like jump past them. So that's really cool. Anyway, let's see what the boss is. It ends up being Goma. I was a little worried that I didn't have like Slingshot, but then I remember I believe Slingshot and Slingshot and arrows do the exact same damage type. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure, but they do end up damaging a Goma here. So that's cool. I do end up getting another sub 30-second kill on this boss. Ends up being just under 30 seconds, which is really cool. Not that that's like an impressive kill time or anyway. I think you can literally kill Goma in 1 cycle if you use ISG, which is the infinite sword glitch. Which did I show that off earlier? I don't know if I showed that off. I think I may have done that off camera. I don't remember if I did that on camera, showing it off. But we do get a bottle with blue fire in it. It's pretty fucking nice, honestly. Like another bottle, that's very useful. I don't think do we need blue fire anymore? I don't think there's another blue fire checkup in game, I'm gonna be honest, but I guess it's nice to have it in a bottle, right? And then we get 200 extra rupees from the Kokiri Emerald check. I don't know if this is Kokiri Emerald or Goron Ruby actually that this would have given me if I didn't randomize it. If I didn't randomize it specifically, but I'm pretty sure it's Kokiri Emerald. I'm gonna say it's Kokiri Emerald, right? Anyway, we're back out. That's cool. Let's head to Lost Woods. Anyway, let's use this platform that we created as a child with the beans and grab this last Gold Skulltula, which ends up being another Gold Skulltula token. But that means we have finished Lost Woods. Lost Woods is cleared out, I believe. There's no more checks in Lost Woods. We can ignore Lost Woods. How many more times can I say Lost Woods? Lost Woods, Lost Woods, Lost Woods. Anyway, let's now that we have gold gauntlets, I think we should head back to Ganon's castle, right? Let's go do that. Yeah, let's go do that. Yeah. Anyway, now that we're back in Ganon's castle, I have this little idea in my head that for some reason I'm thinking that there is a chest either on one of these suns right here, or like in the next room, in the room where the weird orb is that you use light arrows on. I don't know what they're called, but anyway, I do end up kind of doing a unique solution for that because I don't have fire arrows. I end up like kind of angling myself right here, right next between the switch and the torch, so that I can barely clip the torch's fire hitbox and barely clip the web hitbox. So that's pretty cool. I also end up guessing wrong twice for the suns over here, which is really great. I really love that. But I ended up having to fight these, these are called these are floor masters, right? These are floor masters? Whoa, wait a minute. Is that a Binding of Isaac reference? Is that a Mom's Hands any reference? Holy crap, Lois. Okay, I was also being an asshole. Anyway, back here in this little weird energy room, I end up getting... I end up just solving one of the trials, which I guess I technically do have to do later because they're all open. You can set an option for to close all of them, but yeah, I end up being really confused for a second. But I do go back and grab that. There's an invisible chest over here, basically for no reason. It's just kind of funny, right? I don't think there's a key. I don't think that's a key. I think it's just bomb juice. This is also the only place in the game where bomb chews are required. There's a bomb chew check for some reason here. Because you go the entire game without knowing what the fuck bomb chews are, and the game just like throws bomb chews at you right here and says, here you go, here's some bomb chews. I believe that's the only check. I mean, you could always, it's obviously very easy to walk into bomb chew bowling, but you know. Anyway, let's go into light trial. You do need gold gauntlets to access light trial normally. Light trial is I think the most check dense area in the game. There are 7 checks in this one room. One of them requires you have to kill all the invisible enemies in the room, but all of the other ones are free. And you can just kill the enemies. All you really need is a Deku nut, and then you can kill them really easily. But anyway, the items in order, I'm gonna rapid fire them off, are the one you have to kill enemies for ends up being a 5 rupees. Not great. The important item over here ends up being Zora's Sapphire, so I did need to come in here for that. That's really cool. Next up, one ends up being just some regular sticks. Cool, yeah. This one over here on the left, the last one on the left, ends up being a heart piece. The boss key chest, specially colored boss key chest over here, ends up being Water Temple boss key. I don't know if the ice traps can be in these boss key colored checks. That would be kind of evil. I know obviously they can be in the the important colored chests, but the one over here that's obviously a gold Skulltula chest is a gold Skulltula token. And then the last big chest over here is a Jabu map. That's cool. Anyway, let's now that we're done with Ganon's castle, let's just leave and get out. I don't know if there's another chest I could get in here, but I don't know if it's worth it to try. Now that we're at Ganon's castle, we're gonna head to Kokiri Forest and grab what I think is the final check in Kokiri Forest as adults. I think it is. No, there's one more. There's one more technically here. There's a Storm Grotto that's left. And then there's a fairy fountain technically here as well. And there's also the Talon Chicken minigame. But this ends up being 200 rupees, which is good, I guess, because I do need to buy some stuff. I'm almost at the point where I can buy some crap, which is good. I mean, I could also just always farm some Skull Kids, but you know. Anyway, let's go head to Chest Game. I'm not gonna show all of Chest Game. Don't worry, I'm not gonna put you through that, especially the Walk of Shame out afterwards. But it ends up being a gold Skulltula token, unfortunately. I think there's like a 1 in 32 chance of getting the Chest Game right. It's fucking ripoff, because I believe the first 2 rewards are like 1 rupee, which is crazy, and the next 2 are like 5. Like, this is a fucking ripoff. This guy is running a killer business though. Holy shit. Anyway, we're gonna finally spend that big Poe that we caught a while ago, and oh, it's Spirit Medallion. Wait, we already have Spirit Medallion, right? Oh no, it's an ice trap. Oh no! Oh no! Anyway, yeah, and now that we have 50 gold skulls, we can also go and grab all the gold Skulltula. The last gold Skulltula check over here. You can randomize the last one in Ship of Arcadium, which is a difference from the regular console. The regular randomizer, you can actually randomize that check, but I didn't, because that would be a pain in the butt. It ends up being, the last check ends up being a bundle of arrows, which I did know as a hint, but I'm dumb and forgot. Well, I did know, I didn't forget, but you know, I just wasn't 100% sure. It could have been a quiver upgrade, but you know, whatever. C'est la vie. Anyway, let's grab another check over here that's an easy check in CAC, right? Which is the Lake Hylia Lab. There's actually 2 checks that one is technically not vanilla grabbable right now, but I can grab it via glitch, although on the first try I don't grab it. The gold Skulltula down here in the crate actually ends up being a Thieves Hideout small key, so that's, I believe, 3 out of 4 that I have right now, as far as like the video is concerned right here. I don't know if I have, I don't know if as of time recording I actually have the last one. I'm not 100% sure on that. But anyway, I do have to leave, reload the lab to go and grab this check. So normally there's a reward that the professor, I don't know what who the person is, gives you for touching the floor, which you normally have to have gold scale for, right? But if you hookshot the box and then unequip iron boots, the game actually ends up counting that as like touching the bottom, because you just need to touch it without iron boots, basically, while being in the swimming state. So yeah, the guy ends up giving the guy and lady, I don't know what it is, ends up giving you a reward, which ends up being another gold Skulltula token, which is really cool. Glad I wasted my time. So the next few checks we're gonna go ahead and grab over here is the Gerudo Fortress checks. But while I'm on the way, I decided that, hey, I have Poacher's Saw, right? I can go ahead and give it to this guy. We can go ahead and advance the trading bus a little bit, right? See what happens. Game ends up giving me silver scale. I was not aware that these were randomized in this game, so I'm gonna need to go back and grab individually all of the training items, which means buying that frog that's worth 750 rupees in the potion shop, right? I need to go ahead and grab that, which is very, very unfortunate. That's rough, right? Anyway, let's hop on Epona and go and grab these archery checks. Anyway, this gold Skulltula token over here ends up being a piece of heart, which I've tried to grab with the hookshot, but I end up like just zooping myself over there and grabbing it, which like made me laugh. And maybe give it a little bit of chuckle right now. Anyway, the last check I'm gonna go ahead and grab over here is the archery check, archery minigame check. Now the first check of archery, of course, you need 1,000 points to get it, and each bullseye, the bullseyes are worth 100. If you kind of get in the middle, close to the middle of the target, you get 60, and I believe you get hit on the outside of the target, you get 30. You need to get the first check is 1,000. The second one is 1,500. Which is pretty cool. I don't know how much those pots are worth right there, but I do get the 1,000 first try, just barely, I believe, which is really is a fucking skill issue, honestly. Not just barely, I got a little bit over, but it does take me a couple more tries to get to the 1,500, unfortunately. It did take me like 3 tries, but I just barely grabbed the 1,500 check when I do it. But by the way, that was I don't think I said that, but that was a heart piece and another good, a gold Skulltula token and a Ganon's Castle key for 1,500. So that's really cool. Anyway, let's now that we have Gerudo card, we can actually enter Gerudo's training grounds normally. All we have to do is pay this lovely lady a couple of rupees, and we can enter this entrance, which ends up being Forest Temple. So that's cool. But I can do a little bit of Forest Temple right now. But luckily for me, and not having to post me and not having to record and edit way more, I end up actually having to, taking a break after this. At which point I end up at some point turning off the FX and not continuing the rest of the recordings with the FX, so that's good. I shut off, I think it was a day later, and I shut off FX for some reason. Maybe I just reset my little microphone setup here and ended up accidentally setting off. But the first check over here ends up actually being fire arrows, which is really good. Love me some fire arrows, yeah. Oh, love me some fire arrows. Love me some fire arrows. Fire arrows are good, isn't it? Anyway, the chest. So I do spot the chest over across the little trunks, the branches over here, and it's a very important chest. But it ends up being an ice trap. Isn't that cool? That's cool, right? Yeah, that's very cool. Good for me. Good for fucking me. It just ends up being a normal ice trap too. It doesn't even give me like a little fanfare. It says, "Hey, you're a fucking moron. You got ice trap, bitch." Anyway, that is going to be it for this recording. That's going to be it for this time. I hope you enjoyed this this hectic recording. It was certainly an experience, and definitely something that infuriated me a little bit to have to do. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. See ya!